Hey everybody, welcome to the Three Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman, and with me today is my pal, Adam Maxwell.
What's up, buddy? First time in Stutes.
Dude, you're
At Three Gun Nation World Head.
Oh,
We gotta start over now. Dang it. Sorry.
It's live, brother.
I'm
Should we start over
I'm
again?
so
Okay, let's
sorry.
do it again. This is a freebie just for the audience here.
Freebs. Some B-roll.
Ready? Hey everybody, welcome to the Three Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman, and with me today is my buddy Adam Maxwell. Hey Max, welcome to the show, buddy.
What's up, bud? First time been live in the studio before at World Headquarters.
This is pretty exciting, isn't it?
It is. It is. You know,
I think you might be. Oh no. Riley Croft was here.
yeah, I mean,
Mark was here. Yeah. It's good to have you though. This is your first time here.
Yeah.
You didn't get to be the first, but you're the first for me.
It's okay.
So
it's okay.
we're gonna do a couple quickies here. Our first one is 5 things that you can add to cart right now.
Yep.
5 things that you can buy to change your pistol game.
Yeah, you can follow the Three Gun Show hot link over to Brownells, and you can
Dang right.
You can get better at Three Gun overnight as fast as UPS can get it to you.
Absolutely. All right, so we decided we'd go back and forth. So you start with one, and I'll go with another one here.
All right. Well, unless you got a new custom pistol or something like an STI, just throw away those garbage sights that came on it. Not because they're made out of plastic, anything like that, but because they're usually pretty thick, pretty wide.
Yep.
Normally, if there wasn't a fiber optic front sight on it already, the actual diameter, especially if it was some sort of tactical pistol that had a night sight on it, the actual diameter of the front sight is very wide and it's very hard to work with.
It usually fills the rear notch.
Yes.
Yeah, and I like to have light on either side of my front sight when I'm looking through the rear sight, and that helps like with more refined aiming.
Yep. And then to a lesser degree, an adjustable rear sight. I can take it or leave it on the rear sight, as long as we can get the pistol to shoot at a 6 o'clock hold with the ammo you're using. That really helps on those like sadistic 5x5 plates. You want to be able to see the plate itself instead of the sight covering it up, which is the challenge you run into on a really fat front sight.
So, right. And for me, this is the first adjustable rear sight that I've had. I've had I guess target sights, Savini sights on several Glocks, and they've always worked really fine. I've never had to adjust anything. And I haven't adjusted this since I got it. I guess the previous owner did, but so yeah, I would say that the front sight first, and then adjustable rear sight if you can, but I wouldn't sweat it if you can't.
Yeah, I had one pistol that I did run into that with particular ammunition combination I was trying to run, and all of a sudden I needed to add a rear sight to it, an adjustable rear sight. But a sight first thing you can add.
Cool, I like it. Okay, grab that little guy right there. I'm gonna go. My turn.
All right.
Base pads. Now I'm kind of torn on this one because this is a PMag 17, and so it's the GL9 17. So hold 17 rounds. This Zev base pad here adds 5 to make it 22 rounds. In practice, it's really only 21 rounds because that last one round it makes it very difficult to reload. So 21 rounds. Now on my new DVC 3-gun 2011, this is a factory round or factory magazine, and it holds 21 rounds. So on this one, I don't have any base pads, but these are also $50 magazines.
The point, yeah, well, yeah. So it should come the right way the first time, right?
I would say on these ones, because they're 17 from the factory, 4 extra ones really help. 4 extra rounds really help.
Yep. So if you're shooting a stock magazine on most polymer frame pistols, you're giving up some capacity. So the real point here is to make sure that you have the maximum allowable capacity that your platform will accommodate. And then also you're going to want the ability to take that magazine apart. So there are base pads for 2011s that don't come apart very easy, or you need a tool or whatnot. So if you send one into the drink or you get it all full of sand or something like that, you want to be able to take it apart relatively easy. So those are the 2 things you're looking for in a magazine base pad. You want the most capacity that the rules will allow, and you want to be able to get it apart pretty readily for cleaning because you're going to be doing that a lot.
And that's what I like about these base pads for the Glock ones or the Glock magazines, or I guess the Magpul Glock magazines. They do come apart pretty easy. The Terran ones are hard to get apart, which caused me to never take them apart. until I have a problem, but you do eventually need to take them apart. What's the third one, Adam?
Third one, I'm going to skip ahead. Consider your holster. All right. So people do a lot of weird things with holsters, a lot of things that they think make sense. They're like, I like it here for this reason, but like, watch yourself on video. If your holster position makes you do some weird movement, if you do anything other than just pick up your gun and shoot,
like the classic draw, like,
yeah, I actually got called out on that in a class. I was doing a tactical class in Ohio with Jedi, and I was using an improvised setup because I was shooting a gun I don't normally shoot, and I didn't want to go through the whole you brought a race gun to a law enforcement class, so I was shooting a Glock. But that particular holster made me do this weird like duck thing to get my arm in the right place, which I don't normally do with the holster that I set up. But he called me out on it. He's like, all right, you need to stand next to a wall and do some dry fire practice because your holster is just not, it's making you do weird things. You're giving up.
told to go to the wall.
Yeah, I did.
Think about what you did.
I did.
Oh, man.
He handed me a dunce cap and everything.
Oh, wow.
But and when you think about it in context of competition holsters, does it draw smooth? Does it come out smooth? Or does it stick? Be honest with yourself. Is it in a natural place for your hand where your hand just falls for your anatomy? Does it come out smooth? Especially if you're using some of these hangers, because there's good hangers and there's bad hangers. Generally speaking, the further you get the holster away from your body, the more leverage is going to do weird things when you try to pull your holster out, or your pistol out of your holster.
And also plastic ones. The one that so this is my holster right here for my 2011. This is an Invictus hanger that is aluminum. Works really well. I did have a plastic one before for my Glock, and I was constantly springy bending that thing when I was trying to pull the Glock out of there.
Yep. So like I say, consider your holster, because a lot of hangers put it in theoretically a good position, but as soon as you try to pull that thing out, it does this. If it's doing that, it ain't working for you. And whatever you gained in where your hand landed, you're losing in that flex. So the flex is bad. You want to get somewhere where it doesn't flex, but your hand falls on it naturally and it comes out smooth.
Yep. All right. So last one that we've got here. And so this is if you've got like a polymer pistol, or you have I guess something that I would call like an entry-level pistol, you want to have a nice trigger. And most Glocks that I've shot, and I've shot a lot because, as we've said before, I have a pillowcase full of Glocks. Adam's seen the pillowcase.
I haven't actually.
I'll show you later.
So
yeah, the trigger generally sucks. It's a really long pull. It's a really hard pull, and it takes a lot to overcome that wall before you break it. And pulling the trigger without disturbing the sights is what we're after for accurate aim shots. So the trigger would be an upgrade. On something like this DVC-3 gun, it's actually a pretty nice trigger. There are nicer triggers out there. This is adequate for me. I don't see a reason to upgrade it now, maybe in the future, but I like it the way this one is.
Well, here's the deal on triggers, because you can go down the rabbit hole on these too. Like, guys want to talk endlessly about pull weights and things like that. What we're talking about in enhancing your trigger is getting the garbage out of it. So we want a predictable and or minimized amount of pre-travel before you get to the wall, and a clean break. I don't care what poundage the trigger breaks at, as long as it's clean.
Right.
If you've got that little, most of us have experience with ARs. If you have ever shot a GI style trigger, there's that little bit of before it.
Yep.
Little
gritty creep.
That is what we don't want. And if you can, the more of that you can take out of your pistol so that you have a predictable amount of slack, a crisp break, and a reset. The rest of it is arbitrary. You know, like my Atlas pistol, I got somewhere like, I don't even know, probably a 2-pound trigger. But it wouldn't bother me at all if it was a 3-pound trigger, 4-pound, 5-pound. But it's clean. It's clean, and I know what it's going to do every time. That's really what you want, is you want a predictable trigger that's not doing inconsistent things. So in enhancing your trigger, that's what you're looking for. Not so much getting into super raced out spring packages and disconnectors and all that weird stuff. We just want to clean it up a little bit.
Right.
Because that is your last physical control over the bullet.
So, Adam, what is the 5th thing that you can buy?
I mean, you can just go open.
There you go. All right. So that is 5 things you can buy today to completely change your pistol game. With Adam Maxwell and myself, Dave Hartman. Thanks for watching.
You're welcome.